Hey everybody, unofficial video today, just a rant video. Whew, can you say shit show? That's what the election's been for me. I don't know about everybody else, but I knew the mail-in ballots was going to be a problem, but I didn't think it was going to turn into this kind of freaking chaos and votes at 3 in the morning and, just craziness. I mean, if me as a Trump supporter, if we lose the election fair and square, I got no problems with that. I mean, I don't like it, but it just means more people voted for Biden. I mean, that was simple. Electoral college. I'm not going to argue results if everything's on the level. But, I mean, to my Democratic friends, I mean, you got to be honest here. If 100,000 plus votes showed up at 3 in the morning for all of them for Donald Trump, how would you react? You would be reacting the same way that Donald Trump's camp is. I mean, you're calling them crybabies, sore losers, all this stuff, and it's just not true because, yeah, we're pissed because we don't like the idea of 100,000 plus votes. I mean, that's 100,000 votes in this election's like could make it or break it. And, they're acting like we should just say, oh, they found some votes. Okay. That's hard to do. I mean, it's hard to do for anybody. And, I mean, it's just been a shit show from day one. My biggest problem is this. That each state can do whatever they want, and then they change the rules as they go, and all this crap that's going on. But you look at the most populous states in the country: California, New York, Texas, all done election night. Everybody's done. So why is it that these shitholes like Pennsylvania are holding up the whole process? Nevada just said, we're just not going to count anymore. We're just not going to do anymore. Philadelphia did the same thing. We're done counting for the day. We'll just, that should be 24/7. I mean, it should have had to be done by a certain time election night, or that just doesn't go. But, with states having all this flexibility to change the rules as they go, that's why you got a shit show. And, I mean, it looks like Biden's going to take Nevada, however they want us to pronounce it now. Nevada, I think. And he'll have 270 if Arizona doesn't flip back. And now, to make things even worse for Trump, Georgia's getting real close with all these mail-in ballots that are coming in now, and Philadelphia and Pennsylvania's getting real close after Trump had a 600,000 lead. It's like, the mail-in ballots, I don't trust them. But I wasn't going to trust them either way. And I know people call me out and say, oh, that's bullshit. You would have been happy and gloating and bloating and all that stuff. But if it was Trump getting all this mail-in ballots at the very end when he was losing before, I wouldn't be happy about it. I mean, I would think either way you go, it's been a corrupt fucking election, and we're supposed to be the most advanced country in the world. Everybody brags on the United States of America for being the greatest country in the world, and I still believe that. But we're not making ourselves look good in the past. This whole year's been like a gigantic piece of shit, and the election's just another clog in 2020. It's been one thing after another. It makes us look really fucking bad to everybody else. And maybe we are really bad, and especially socially. And, I've been pretty upfront and outright about the riots and all this bullshit and how my opinions on them. And I'm not going to get into all that because, if you want to see them, I got a whole YouTube channel of my rants, and I got podcast of it. So if you get bored and you want to listen to me fucking rant and ramble, go ahead. But for this video here, it's pretty simple. and this is my conspiracy theory, as I'm called, conspiracy theorist, that I believe that this all ties in with the corona hoax. I'm sorry, it just does. I mean, it just seems over funny to me that the reason, we were concerned about the reasons for the virus was to do the mail-in ballots. I know a lot of people don't believe in the QAnon and all that, but they've been saying this since freaking March and April, that this is going to be a problem. And then to boot everything else, I don't watch the show anymore because I don't watch celebrities at all. But try not to anyway. But Jimmy Fallon had Bernie Sanders on, 2 weeks ago? I think it was the 23rd of October. And Bernie went through this. I mean, he's like the prophet Bernie. He said, and he was mentioned in states like Michigan, and however he talks, weird, but in Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, you're going to see a problem to where Trump is winning, and then you get that 10 o'clock at night, Trump's confident that he's won, and then you're going to get all the mail-in ballots that are going to be all for Biden, and it's going to flip everything around. So, but it's just funny to me. I mean, pretty good guess if you take, those 3 states were a big deal, and it just was. Whether he was just pulling it out of his ass, probably. We guarantee that? No, but I'm saying probably. I don't think everything's. I don't know that everybody's that capable pulling off a coup like that. I mean, but they've been trying everything under the sun since Trump got in there 4 years ago to get rid of him. And they might have done it this time. But I do believe, and conspiracy theorist I am, that the coronavirus was a direct reason for that virus to be let out. And here I go. I'm probably going to get booted, but it's a man-made virus in the lab, got released. They knew it wasn't going to be as bad as what they said, and it hasn't been. Thankfully, it's not been as bad. But it has a direct correlation. As soon as it came out, in March, April, May, we're going to have to do mail-in ballots because we're not going to be able to go to the polls and be safe. I don't know about you, but I went to the polling place on the day of the election. Yeah, I had to stay 6 feet apart. Yeah, I had a mask on. All that jive. But we should have planned on doing that regardless. And, absentee ballots should have to be in my opinion, in a presidential race, you shouldn't have state-to-state rules. Just my opinion. I think if you're doing an absentee ballot or you're doing a early voting ballot, it has to be done before the election. It has to be done and counted. We should have had all these in and counted and say, okay, we're starting with Biden at 2 million and Trump at 1.5 million in the state, whatever state you're in, because this is the absentee and the early voting. It's just, and looking forward, they got to do something with it. And I'm not going to sit here and, I'm so pissed because I'm a Republican. No, I've said before, if Biden wins, he wins. It's just, as long as it's a fair and legal election, I could care less. I can't say I can't care less, but I knew it was a possibility. They were saying it was going to be a blue wave. It was going to be 15, 17 points in some states. And it came down to 0.5% or 1%. And, Trump did, a lot better than these pollsters, which, we get into that. Pollsters are about useless. And I think they're dangerous because they make it sound so far to the other side. And they've been wrong so many fucking times badly. In 2016, they were wrong. Very badly wrong. This year, they're wrong. Even if Biden wins, they were wrong because they were expecting a blowout. And Trump still has a chance to win. I'm not saying he can't carry the next 4 states that are day 3, still not fucking done counting. I mean, that's ridiculous to me. In a presidential election in the United States of America, you should know election night. I mean, that's just... Even with mail-in ballots, they should have had to be in 2 weeks before the election or something. Could have been done differently. But, having these dumps, as they're calling them, okay, your candidate's ahead by... Trump was ahead by 110,000 in Wisconsin. Had 93% of the vote in. Middle of the night, these votes come in. Biden's then ahead 50,000 when we wake up with 95% of the vote in. Okay, so there was 400,000 votes in that dump. 400,000. Only way 400,000 votes could count for 2% is if you had 20 million votes. And they had like 7 million. Unless somebody got the numbers fucked up. I mean, it could be the percentage wasn't right or something. I don't know. But they wonder why we go in and we fucking, we challenge this shit. It's the same for me as in Pennsylvania. When they're talking about Pennsylvania counting the votes. And they have a camera set up inside where they're counting these votes. On Fox News, anyway. And every time they go there, they show the camera. Nobody's doing anything. They're walking around, or they're sitting there shooting the shit, kind of like ODOT. And that's what it reminds me of. It's like when you go by a construction crew on the road, and there's one guy doing work and 7 of them watching him. And I know there's a reason for that, because everybody's got a job to do, and it's their time, not their time to do it yet, or whatever. But if you're just counting votes, why? I mean, there was people it's been every time that's been on there, I don't think I've seen anybody do anything. Now, the ones they showed in the other county in Pennsylvania, Wilkes-Barre or whatever it is, they were doing their jobs, counting their votes. Detroit, when they had the pictures of Detroit, they were doing it. But it's just funny to me that Philadelphia is just like, nobody's doing anything. It's like, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. It's like I've been watching Fox News pretty regular. Just, it's just the network I happen to choose to watch the election results. And, they took a lot of flack for calling Arizona so quick. And now Arizona's super tight. I don't know that Trump will have enough to reclaim Arizona, but he's got a hell of a shot. I mean, he's got to average like 59% or something of the votes that are left out of 600,000. But, hey, anything's possible, and I just don't know why we're on day 3 and they're talking like it could be the end of the week or Monday before we get Nevada, and why? I mean, why is this shit taking so long? I mean, there's just so many fucking conspiracy things. I thought they were conspiracy, but, like the videos are even out. The girl saying the Sharpies weren't working and they were being pushed use Sharpies, and she had a pen of her own, so she used her own pen, but she said 2 ballots in front of hers was rejected, and they were both Trump votes. Even if they were Biden votes, it's fucking wrong, man. I mean, it's just not right. So the whole election's boiling down to a big pile of shit. And I mean, I knew it was gonna be. I didn't think it was gonna be a red wave. I was hoping for a red wave, but I knew better. But I thought Trump was going to win, similar to the last election. Maybe not, right on it. But, Joe flipped one on him with the Arizona or whatever he did. And Trump really didn't have any flips. He held Ohio. So my Buckeyes, hey, I was really hoping once Ohio was gone that, the old superstition, because no president's won the election without holding Ohio since '64. So I was hoping, hey, we got it in the bag. It's 56-year tradition. It's going to keep going. Might not. Biden didn't win Ohio. He didn't win Florida. He didn't win Texas. Of course he won the West Coast. Of course he won the East Coast. And there's still like North Carolina's still out, Georgia's still out, Nevada's still out, and Pennsylvania's still out. So you got those four, plus Arizona is not. I mean, it's been called by Associated Press, it's been called by Fox News, but even CNN it didn't call it, and that's bad. But Fox News screws the pooch over CNN, that's pretty bad. But CNN is actually the more legit electoral votes right now than when I'm watching on Fox News. They haven't declared Arizona. So we'll find out. I mean, supposedly we were supposed to find out last night. Now it was this morning. Now it's tonight. It could be tomorrow. Of Nevada and should be Georgia. Georgia's at 99% in, but it's like 14,000 votes difference. Wisconsin was 100,000 votes difference, and Trump wants a recount there. It's not because of the number, I don't think. I think it's because they suspect fraud. And they suspect fraud in Pennsylvania, and they suspect fraud in Nevada now. And, I mean, is that a desperation ploy from Trump? It might be, but it's also, even if he loses, and if they find corruption, it can be dealt with. Even if the corruption doesn't give Trump enough votes to win, it still needs to be dealt with. You can't be dumping ballots and changing them and screwing around with them in an election like this. And I say we never fucking do mail-in ballots again, ever. Because it's been a hassle and absolute nightmare. And the fraud, I mean, I'm not saying there has been any fraud, but it would be easy to do with mail-in ballot. I mean, pretty much, think about it. You could get a mail-in ballot, and you could mail it in, and then show up to the polling station the same day and vote again. I mean, I would think you could. I mean, I don't know if their computers would catch you. They might. I'm saying I thought it was a pretty solid way. I had to show my ID. I had to verify my address. I had to sign. I had, when I went and voted, it's pretty ironclad is what I thought. I didn't know much about it. I mean, but I got an absentee ballot in the mail. And I just didn't use it. I just threw it away. Because I knew I was going to the polling place. That's why I've always done it. I'm not doing it any different. And, could I have filled in an absentee ballot, sent it in, and then went and voted? Hell, I don't know. I'm not into that political scheme that much. But I do know that this has been an embarrassing shit show on both sides, on every side. And now Trump looks desperate. Yeah, I get that. But you tell me Biden's camp wouldn't be doing the same thing if it was reversed. I mean, be honest with yourself at least. I mean, you're calling Trump a whiner and all that. Yeah, he's a bully. He's always been an egotistical dude. But even Sleepy Joe would have been pissed off enough to say, hey, 138,000 votes and none of them were for me at 3 in the morning? Yeah, I want somebody to look at that. Yeah, I want somebody to check into that shit. Now, whether, that could end up just being like a misquote or something, I doubt it. I think it's probably a bunch of mail-in ballots, but I can't believe there's 138,000 people in one section or district or whatever, region, whatever you call it, and not one defiant Trump voter. I mean, they're all for Biden. It just doesn't seem right. It just doesn't seem right to me. Like I said, I admit when I'm wrong, and I might be wrong. I might be 100% wrong. And here I am. I'm not crying. I'm not whining. I know there was a chance we were going to lose from the get-go. There's nothing guaranteed. I mean, I didn't really expect Trump to win in 2016. I really didn't expect him to, I didn't expect him to blow out Biden, but I just thought, man, he's going to have to win. Because I don't dislike Joe Biden. Like, I don't know the dude. But, man, he scares me. It's like strokes when he's talking. And that pressure and the care or whatever. He just stumbles over his words. He stutters and sputters and looks into space like he's out of it. I just don't. And the policies they have, of course, I'm not a fan of because I'm a Republican. I'm a conservative. I don't believe in giving the do nothing and get something mentality of socialism. That's the way they lean to me. They want the top 1% to start paying their fair share and all that, but my opinion is they're not going to stick around for that. If they can go to the south of the border, man, and get the same results, I just don't trust the policies and the plans they have. That it's not going to screw me over in the end. And that's who I worry about, is me, myself, and I, and mine. I don't care about, Bezos and Bill Gates and all them guys. They probably should be paying more. I've said that before. Celebrities should be paying more. If you're going to redistribute wealth, start with the wealthiest people in the country. Yes, I get that. But don't go nuts on them. I mean, don't say you're going to pay for everything. But yeah, I mean, they should want to, these people, these activists for the Democratic Party should want to redistribute some of their own wealth. But then they'll look at you like you're crazy. It's like, well, you got $1 million for doing this movie, Brad Pitt. Why don't you just take take 500,000 and give 500,000 away? He would look at me like I was fucking crazy. That'd be like me saying, I pay 30% tax rate, 35%, whatever we pay as normal people for state, federal, city, Social Security. It all combines like 38, 40%, something like that, I'm guessing. And I say, hey, why don't you double that? So Joe Blow here can stay home and he's perfectly capable of working, he just don't want to. But we'll give him free health care and, so much money a month to live in an apartment that we don't charge rent on, and, $8 utility bills and all this bullshit. And I'm not against helping people that are in need. Don't believe me, I'm not. I've been doing it my whole life. I mean, I give the United Way every year. I've paid my taxes every year. Not in any way, shape, or form against doing that. At the same time, if you're capable of working and you're just lazy and don't feel like working, and you want me to give you, hold your hand out and say, hey, give me $20 for some cigarettes and a 12-pack. I'm going to laugh so hard, and then if you persist, I'm probably going to smack shit out of you. Because it's like, dude, you can work. I go to struggle, will go to work when I go. My body's taking a freaking beating over 35 years in a factory, yeah. But you know what? It's what I need to do. And support myself, my family, and help the people that are less fortunate than me by paying my taxes. So don't give me that bull. These people think we're going to get to go to school for free, and we're going to get free health care, and we're going to get, and we're not going to have to worry about who's paying. They don't give a shit who's paying for it. That's just the way it is. So the people that are out here busting their ass to work, that were working 2 jobs in the past, they finally got it down to where they could work 1 job under Trump. The tax cuts were enough, and the economy was really good, and they could just get by on one. And now they're going to have to go back to working 2 jobs. And the Democrats, you can tell me, oh, you don't know that, and blah blah blah. I'm just going by the plan. It's like under $400,000 doesn't get a tax doesn't get a tax hike. Okay, I get that. But you want to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, so the place where they work has to charge more. So they have to charge more for the stuff I need. So I'm going to have to pay more, which is fucking still not helping me. It's still not helping me. Insurance is going to go, it's going to be, supposedly it's going to be this universal health care. Obamacare, people were complaining it cost them $1,000 a month. Shit, I don't want nothing that costs me $1,000 a month. I mean, I just get a job and pay my $50 a week, whatever, $200 a month for coverage. People don't want to do that. They want to sit home and do nothing. Get a liberal arts degree in underwater basket weaving, or public speaking, so they can be an activist. It's all bullshit. Anyway, so the election's been a shit show. It's been pretty embarrassing for the country. I don't know, whatever side you're on. We know there's going to be a president named, hopefully, just like a Band-Aid, just rip that motherfucker off, get these votes counted, and say, Piss Pants Biden's your new president. Or, because we all know it's going to be Kamala, whatever her name is. I don't know. Kamala. Because they ain't going to let him be in there long. He's about as competent, I'm surprised the guy's been able to function as well as he has. I just don't think he's going to last very long. Not enough to run the country. I mean, Trump's running around like crazy. I mean, he's only 5 years younger, but he's 5 years younger. And he's used to going, I mean, Biden's a career politician. The dude ain't worked a day in his life. So, first 40 years of his life he might have, but doubtful. So anyway, the election's going to come. The election's going to go. I'm sure the lawsuits will drag out for months, but really, whatever they announce is what it's going to be. So if Biden wins, I get 1,460 days in January. I start my 1,460-day bashing, just like the Trump bashers got to do for 4 years. But other than that, I hope he doesn't sink the ship. I don't want the captain of the ship to fail. So I hope he does something good. But, the possibility of me cashing out all my stuff and ghosting is very high probability at this point. I mean, I would try to give it a chance, but after those 2 years go by and Trump's tax cuts go away, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. So, if you're a Democrat, you're happy right now. If you're a Republican, you're not so happy. The slim chance we have to hold on, that's what I got to go with today. But I'm not conceding, but I'm 90% sure that Joe Biden will be the president of the United States. And Donald Trump will walk off into the sunset with his billions of dollars. And if I was him, I would expose every piece of shit that I've had waiting to expose from this month to January. All the pedophiles, if they've been under wraps, if you've got them in the FBI, spare no expense. I mean, hell, man, I'll donate. I'll donate to you if you need a little extra. Make me double taxes for the rest of the year. I would do that to get rid of the pedophiles. The Save Our Children campaign. Go for it, Don. And drag all these fuckers in the swamp down with you. Drag them all down. That you have something on and your people have stuff on, drag them down and make it count before you leave, dude. I mean, that's the only hope we got to salvage the presidency of Trump, because it would have been great to have him for 4 more years, but I just don't see it happening. Hopefully I can look back on this video and say, boy, you were an idiot because Trump wins, but I'm more than likely going to look back and say, yep, you were pretty much there. So anyway, let's hope for the election to at least be over soon so we can get on with our lives one way or the other. And trust in your own convictions and beliefs. Try to stay safe out there with the riots we know that are coming. Either way, I mean, I don't think that Trump loses, you're going to see the riots, but you're going to see some unrest. You're going to see some violence. There's no doubt. But let's hope for the best. Let's hope this country doesn't go any farther down the shitter than it is. And I'm beyond people blaming Trump for shit. It's like, you guys don't want to own up to your end and say, yeah, I protest, yeah, I do violent things, yeah. You're never going to own up to that because you're fucking cowards. So, I mean, let's just be honest about it. Let's be honest. The Patriots have yet to strike, and you don't want them to do that. You guys have no idea how many ex-military there is that are patriots in this country that are Republicans. They far outnumber the left. But like I said, I don't wish that. I hope it's a smooth transition of power or a smooth 4 more years of Trump. Guess we'll see. Hopefully by the end of today would be nice, but more than likely tomorrow or Monday or some shit. But we'll find out together and deal with it together. Stay safe out there, everybody. Bye.